Hi, and welcome to the Merryweather Knitting Podcast. My name is Gabriella, and I'm coming to you from my home in Germany, where I live with my husband and our daughter and our cat. And I'm so excited to have you with me today as I talk about knitting and crafting and all that I've been making this week. Here in Germany, it is an absolute winter wonderland right now. It is so white. I'm looking out the window, and everything is just white, covered in snow. I don't know how much snow it is, maybe like a foot of snow, and it's more than the snow plows here can handle. So the snow is like covered and been driven over, and it's just white. Even the roads are just white. And this is something I've never experienced in this country before, this much snow. I've lived here for 4 years, but I spent a bit of winter here a year before I moved here. So I've seen about 5 winters here. And yeah, or almost 6 winters actually. But I've never seen this much snow here. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's really like, it feels like a bit of home for me because I'm from the Midwest, the Chicago area. And so there it gets very, very snowy in the winter. It's very cold. And I learned while living there to just contend with that cold and to kind of expect it and to enjoy it. And maybe it was because I grew up reading the Narnia series. I loved the Narnia series by C.S. Lewis as a child. But I always felt like the winter was this kind of tyrannical queen in a way. But this season was this kind of very rough and ruthless kind of lady. I don't know how to explain it, because if you read the Narnia series or you know about it, there's the White Witch who makes it winter in Narnia all the time. And at some point, after the first fun in the snow, when it started to just get bitterly cold and it wouldn't melt and it just felt like, it would never go away, I felt very much like we were in Narnia, in her reign, in her world. So now I get a taste of that again, and I feel like she's come to visit us. And it's very nice to be around winter, because of course the season of winter exists here, but it's just not the same as it is in the Midwest in the United States. Or, if you live somewhere that it gets very, very cold and snowy, you'll know what I mean. It's just the marking of like the snow seasons. Here, it doesn't really get that snowy. So like the years I've lived here before, a couple of years it hardly snowed at all. Maybe it snowed a bit and then melted right away, or it snowed and stuck for a couple of days, but really nothing huge. This is like something unlike I've ever experienced here, and it's absolutely wonderful. I'm enjoying it so much. We're completely snowed in. We can't drive away. So when we needed some food, we have to go walk to get it. I'm very, very thankful that we live somewhere where we can walk to the grocery store. But it's so much fun. So I'm enjoying this weather so much. I'm enjoying just being indoors, cozying up. The thing is about it though, is that it's also very, very cold, obviously, because the snow is sticking so well. It's very cold. It's like, for here, I feel like if I were to talk to myself a few years ago, I would be like, it's not even that cold. But it's like, minus 17 Celsius, I think it was on one day, which is really, really cold for here. And yeah, in the States, like I said, I've experienced much, much colder winters, but there everything's set up, prepared for that. And here it's not really. So I feel like we've had to be extra bundled up and extra, it just feels a little bit even rougher than it would if we were in the States or where I'm from with this kind of snow and weather. But I hope that you're also enjoying some snow. If you are, I hope you're able to cozy up inside and get some knitting done, get some crafting done. It's the best part of these wintry months. I think a lot of times these wintry months can feel so lonely and so cold, but when you have things to work on, it makes it fun, and it even makes you enjoy it all the more. So I've been living in this cardigan, this jacket, this balloon jacket so much because it's just so big and cozy and warm. I'm wearing it again today because I just enjoy it so much. And it is starting to pill a little bit here and there. I don't know if you can tell. I think the mohair kind of masks it. I'm going to now start talking about my works in progress, what I've been working on this week. This week I also have a new craft to show you, a new fiber related craft, but I'll save that for later. So first I'm going to show you my Clover. Look at this beautiful, beautiful pattern. It's progressing. Last week I had showed you that I'm showing you the wrong side. I had done one pattern repeat, and now I have done a second one. So I'm really excited. It's moving along. There it is. There's the little kind of design you can see. It's just progressing very nicely. And I feel like one pattern repeat a week is a very nice kind of slow and steady pace. I am working on it a little bit every day, doing a few rows every day, but I would like it to move faster because I just think it's so beautiful and I would love to wear it. I think it will be a beautiful springtime pullover, so I hope it's finished by then, but I am enjoying the process very, very much. And honestly, with every passing row, I'm enjoying just doing these cables and lace more and more. I'm enjoying this like variety, the focus. And I saw that Wallin has a collection called the North Sea. And I think one day I'd really, really like to knit from that book because there are some beautiful lace and kind of cable patterned sweaters that she has in there that are just beautiful. And the North Sea is specifically a place which is very meaningful to me because I think I've mentioned it before, but usually every kind of early spring, late winter, Nick and I go to the North Sea together to have a little holiday, or most years. It's definitely the off season, but on the North Sea at that time of year, it's just so beautiful. It's just very cold and very windy, but I feel like it makes the sea and the coast even more, I don't know, it's just absolutely breathtaking in a different way than it is in the warmer months. And specifically the North Sea is most of the time quite cold. So it's just beautiful. And I'd love to knit something from that collection and then wear it when we visit the North Sea. So that's a dream of mine. And more as I knit this, I just think of that book. But I'm enjoying this book, this pattern so much. This is the Clover by Wallin, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. This is knit in the Rowan felted tweed yarn in the shade Lotus Leaf, which is the most beautiful, rich green shade. I'm loving the tweeds, the tweedy parts, like the little speckly tweedy bits. You can just see in there, there are little kind of blues and natural light creamy tones in there. All kinds of stunning little shades and variation in shade. Just kind of little bits of brown. So it's a beautiful, beautiful yarn and a beautiful sweater, and I'm just in love with it. I'm having so much fun knitting it. I really am. So that's my Clover. I also have to talk about that really quickly because last week I had talked about the selvage edge that I was doing on each end of the sweater, each side of the sweater. I had cast on an extra stitch at the beginning and the end for my selvage edge, and I'm doing a selvage slip stitch selvage edging. I hadn't known about selvage edges at all before knitting this sweater. I got the idea to even knit one on here because I read on the Ravelry project pages for this sweater, that someone mentioned that was important to do and that wasn't mentioned in the pattern. Then I had done research and read online, like, yeah, many people do selvage edges for the kind of edges of pieced sweaters in order to make them easier to seam up in the end. And so I just did it kind of thinking, wow, I'm so, like, I was talking about it in my last episode, and I just felt like, wow, I'm so amazing. I've learned this. I have done my research, and now it's going to be perfect. But a very lovely one of you, thank you so much for leaving a comment and informing me that actually selvages on a piece sweater are not only not necessary, but also sometimes not as clean as actually just a stockinette edge. So I was amazed when learning this. I will leave the link, which was left to me in the description box below because it was so helpful and so interesting. But actually, a selvage edge doesn't look as clean as just a stockinette edge. And you know what? I should have thought, I don't know, because the pattern, it does have a little stockinette bit. I thought I should have, like, at the very edge, there's a little stockinette piece. I should have known that Wallin knows best. And she would have maybe written that in there, maybe not, I don't know. But I now know that my selvage edge was just unnecessary and actually probably would have been better to just omit that altogether and just leave it out. So you live and you learn. This project has been such a learning experience for me on so many levels, with cables, with pieced sweater. Just this construction is new for me. So it's been so much fun to learn, and I feel like every project is for me also a learning experience, and it's like a teacher, and so I'm really thankful to learn from this project also. I don't think that the selvage edge is going to make it look that bad. I think it's going to be fine. It's also, you know, it's fingering weight. It's so small. It's going to be on the side. I don't think anyone's going to notice that seam except me, and I am in no way a perfectionist. In fact, quite the opposite. I like the handmade aspect of handmade garments and handmade pieces, so I don't have a problem with the fact that it maybe not be perfect, but it's good to know that for the future, that actually you don't need a selvage edge for your piece sweaters. I think it's also people's preference, people's habits, what they're taught, but I'm so thankful for this community, so thank you so much for letting me know that wasn't necessary, and I just wanted to share that with you all too. So if you are thinking about knitting a piece sweater, I hope that you watch this in time after watching my other video where I said like, yeah, you have to add a selvage edge. Not even true. It's not even true. It's not a big deal, but yeah, that is my Clover, and that's what I've learned about selvages. Oh my gosh, so interesting and just so cool to learn and to grow through these projects. The next thing I have to show you is, I guess I'll show you my socks next. I have this socks that I'm working on, which I have not done much. I've turned the heel, I've knit the gusset, turned the heel. I'm working on the decreases now for the foot. Oh, these socks, I'm really starting to get sock fatigue, second sock fatigue. Is there a thing that is like a thing people say, right? Second sock syndrome? I don't know. It's true, I don't know, but it's moving along. It looks so, I think it looks so cool at this stage when you see it on the needles, because it's like this leg and this, I don't know, it looks so, I don't know, surgical to me in some way. If you see this kind of, all these needles, I know I could put a needle here, but I just like just 3 needles. It keeps it really simple for me as I decrease, and I don't really get ladders, so I don't mind it. But there I am. It's moving along well. I'm so excited to get this over with though. Finished off the needles. Nick is so excited to have these, and I love seeing each color progress and see the stripes form, but yeah, at some point on the second sock, I'm usually ready to have it done. The first sock always flies by, and then I enjoy the second sock, and then at some point it kind of slows down for me. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it still, and I can't wait to have it done. I'm hoping, really, really hoping to have these finished by Valentine's Day, to have these as a Valentine's Day gift for Nick. So I'm pretty sure the next couple of days, this is going to be my primary project. I'm going to primarily be working on these socks just to get them finished, so that they're finished in time, because Valentine's Day is just a few days away, incredibly. But usually in the evenings, I'll knit on my Clover. So it might be that this week or the next couple of days, I won't do that as much. Rather, I'll just knit away on these so that they're finished in time for Valentine's Day, because he's been wishing for these for so long, and I can't wait to finally give them to him. I think he's going to love them, and they'll keep his feet nice and warm. And I do know that next time, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but next time I knit socks for him, I'm going to have to go up to 80 stitches. This was like, I don't know, 76 or something. I don't know, 72. 78, I don't know, some 70 number. But I think I need to go up to 80 stitches next time, because I tried the other one on him and it is a little bit tight. I mean, it fits, it's just snug, but it's a little too snug. And I also think my socks, I've noticed lately wearing my hand knitted socks, most of them are also a little too loose for me. So I think I need to go down a stitch count. I usually go for 64 stitches on my own socks, but I think I need to go down a little, because I don't mind if they're a little roomy, but they're almost loose. Some of them kind of slip around on my foot, and I don't like that very much. So I need to fix that. But anyway, those are my 2 knitting projects this week. And I want to talk more about knitting and my plans for when I finish these socks. But before I do that, I want to show you my progress on my little crown. I have not done that much on this needle felted crown for Esmeralda, but I've done a couple of little bees I've added to it, little bumblebees, which I think are so cute and so sweet, and this little butterfly, which I think is not as cute. It doesn't look as sweet. I feel like it's kind of like, I need to fix it up a little bit, kind of make it more even, maybe add a color to each little, little wing. And, but I'm loving this little needle felt project. I think I'm gonna maybe use this one for her birthday, but I also have more felt, so I might make another one. But I've enjoyed this so much. Like I said, I don't think needle felting is my new absolute like next hobby, but I am having fun with this, and it'll be a fun project to give her for her birthday. Oh, I also added an eye and a little nose for the bunny, and it kind of shaped the arm more in the foot, so I think it looks a little bit more like a bunny now. In the camera it doesn't look, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't look that great in the camera, but it is what it is. I'm gonna keep doing it, and it's just supposed to be whimsical, very fun little piece for her. So that's my needle felting project. And the last thing I want to show you project-wise is actually something which I've never done before, but is also related to the fiber arts, and that is crochet. I have never crocheted before in my life. My mother crocheted when I was little. She crocheted for me the most beautiful floral crochet blanket, which I have in my room, in my daughter's room, on her chair, and it's just so beautiful. It's got these crocheted flowers, and it's just so precious, and I really treasure this blanket. But I've never crocheted, and I've never really, I don't know, I was just kind of intimidated by it. I love to knit, I'm a knitter, but I saw the cutest little pattern on Pinterest for a little purse with strawberries on it. And it was like strawberries and cream or something. So it was like little strawberries crocheted and little like ruffles for like the cream. And then it was like a little basket colored, like baskety purse, like a little miniature purse. And I thought it looked so sweet and so cute. And to be fair, you could not really tell the size of the purse on the picture. You couldn't tell if it was a big one or small, how big the purse was, but it looked so cute. So I really wanted to make it. I just thought it looked so cute. And I thought, you know what? I can teach myself how to crochet. I learned how to knit. I can learn with my mom. So I was FaceTiming my mom, and I asked her, do you want to crochet with me, like a virtual crochet party? And she was like, that's a fun idea. We'll do it. I have 2 little siblings. I actually have 5 little siblings, but 2 very little siblings who are still in school. And so I said, they can do it with us. We can make it like a little project. I ordered some very affordable cotton yarn, and my mom hasn't yet joined me on this project. Hopefully soon they will join me. But Mom, if you're watching at some point, I'm still waiting for you. I hope you join. But anyway, I ordered a crochet hook, which I was amazed. Like, these crochet hooks are so beautiful. This is the Knit Pro. This is the Knit Pro wooden ginger crochet hook. It's 4mm. I ordered exactly what the pattern said. It's a free pattern. It was on a website, not on Ravelry, nothing else, because I got it on Pinterest. So I just went to the website, and they said you need size 2 yarn, and you need a 4mm crochet hook. And when I read size 2 yarn, I had to like research that, and it seems like it's fingering weight. So I found this cotton yarn, and I got this because I thought cotton would be good for a little purse. And I started to learn to crochet, and honestly, I've never crocheted anything. I taught myself, like I said, my mom has not yet joined me, so I'm still waiting. But I just started right away when I got it because I couldn't wait, because I thought this purse was so cute. And I thought, it looked big enough that it could maybe be even a project bag, like a little crocheted project bag for socks or for something small, just to kind of have it somewhere. I thought I could give it to Esmeralda to play with if I didn't even like end up using it, but I just thought it was super cute. So I started, and you have to start with a magic circle, which I had to remake like 50 times. And then I had to remake like the first rows so many times, endless amounts of times. But this definitely exercised a certain part of my mind and my patience and my muscles, because the movement of crochet is not the same as knitting. And I don't know anything about crocheting. I just watched tutorials, and I kind of watched them also like half-heartedly, and kind of look at the hands and kind of try to do it myself until it looks right. So I'm going to show you this, and if you're a crocheter, you will tell me, and you will know if it doesn't look good, how good it looks, how bad it looks. I'm sure my like tension is not great, but I started the base of this little purse, and this is how it looks so far, and it's not turning out in any way how I imagined it would turn out. I'm just following the pattern blindly. Like I said, I've never crocheted before. I have no idea how it's supposed to look or what it's going to end up being like, but I'm just following it blindly and seeing where it leads me. Looking at the picture, I'm actually not quite sure if it's really the same, if it's really a crocheted piece that is really like the person's picture, because it looks so professional. It looks almost, I don't know, it almost looks fake. It looks so beautiful and so cute and so like adorable, but it almost doesn't look real, and that I don't know, I'm not really sure exactly if it's going to end up being like the picture, but I'm taking it as a learning experience. Hopefully it does look like the picture, and if it doesn't, I don't know, I'm gonna have to try to figure out if there's another way I can make that little bag because it looks so cute, or make a bigger version of the bag. But anyway, I've started, and this is how it looks. I already showed you a bit, but there's the little needle, and there's my base. It's starting to go up now, which is like, I don't know if it's gonna go out more, but it's so small. I don't know how this is gonna end up being. I mean, I'm using the right needle or the right hook, and I'm using the right yarn size. And I also don't know if maybe I'm just doing it too tightly, or, I mean, I want it to be tight because it's a bag, and it's not like that tight. I don't know. I will link the pattern below. If you're interested in checking it out, you can see it's very cute, and this does not look very cute yet. But I've enjoyed crocheting so much, and it's a very fun movement. I'm very slow at this compared to how I'm ending. It takes me a lot of focus to do. It's not yet in me, like in my muscle memory yet, but I've enjoyed it so much, and I love the way a lot of these like granny square, granny stripe crochet blankets look. And I've kind of thought, you know what, I've always wanted to make one, so maybe that's my future. Maybe a little granny square or granny stripe crocheted blanket is in my future, but we'll see. So this is knit out of the out of cotton yarn, 100% cotton. This is from the Schachenmayr Catania colorway yarn. In the colorway, it's called Beige on the website or something, but the colorway is 00404, and yeah, it's just the Catania color, Catania yarn. And I'm liking it a lot. I'm really enjoying it. It's nice. I haven't really used that much cotton yarn in my life, so it's kind of still a new thing for me, but I'm definitely enjoying it, and it's really, really fun. So the last thing I want to show you before I say goodbye is my plans. It's just my plan for my next project, because after I finish these socks, I want to put something else on the needles that's stockinette, that's just kind of mindless, because I need something like that for my daily life when I'm just doing things out and about. Well, we're not really out and about right now, but when I'm just sitting with Esmeralda or doing whatever, sitting at the breakfast table, I like to have a project to work on that's kind of mindless. And these socks were that. So when they're gone, I thought of casting on another pair of socks, and I might still do that, but I actually think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to cast on another pullover, a little one, which is kind of like, I don't know, I feel a little torn about having two pullovers on the needles at once, so maybe something else is going to be added. Maybe I'll also do a pair of socks at some point soon. But I've just been really wanting to cast this on, and I've had this yarn in my stash for so long, for years. All the yarn in this project I've had in my stash for years. For a long time, I wasn't sure what I would knit with these yarns, so I'll show you the yarn first before I go on. The first yarn, the kind of star of this whole project, is this yarn right here. And this is a Homespun House yarn in the merino cashmere base. It's 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. This is yarn that I got as a gift from my husband. I don't know. It must have been in 2018 or so. It must have been like 2 or 3 years ago that I got this as a gift. And this was a really special yarn, because Nick wrote Molly of A Homespun House and asked if she would dye something special. And I don't think she usually does that. I mean, even then, now I know that her business has grown, but even then I don't think she did that. I think that was like a really special occasion. She agreed to do it because my favorite book, or one of my favorite books, my favorite childhood book, is Anne of Green Gables. I love that book. I read it, if not yearly, then every couple of years. I love the movies. The 80s, the 1980s versions of the movies are my favorite ones. Although I like the older ones too. And with an E, I've watched the first season of, and I do like it, but I just haven't watched more of it. I have to be honest, my heart is just completely loyal to the 1980s version of the books, the movie version. So anyway, but the books are the best. The books are what really matters, and the books are my favorite books. So Molly often does Harry Potter yarn colorways, and she does Little House on the Prairie colorways, and lots of different colorways which are inspired by books and movies and things like that. And so he wrote her and asked her if she would dye up something that's Anne of Green Gables inspired. And she said yes, which was an absolute, I didn't know that he was doing this. This was a complete surprise for me on my birthday. But he wrote her that because he had seen me. I followed Molly for a long, long time. And I love her yarn. I love her podcast. And it was just so amazing that she agreed. And so she dyed up this colorway for my birthday. I hope that it comes through well on camera. This is a couple of years ago. And she named it Anne of Green Gables birthday yarn, No Net Ensnares Me. I'll show you the color, there it is. It's so, so special. So this has been a very special skein of yarn for me. I've been so, like, it's so special that I had never cast anything on with it. I was not sure what to cast on. And I think the colors fit so well to Anne of Green Gables. It fits so, so well. And also, she sent along with it, which was extremely generous, these 4 20-gram mini skeins. So these are the 4 colors, and they're super beautiful colorways too. You can see this one is like, I don't even know what the names are, but they're just beautiful. This one here, and these are from a couple of years ago, so she definitely doesn't dye these anymore. But there's this one, which is like a beautiful kind of lilac muted purple with greens and darker shades of purple and blue and green. And there's this one here, which is beautiful kind of golden colorway with yellow and orange and amber all in there. So it's stunning little colorway as well. And then there's this one, which is also kind of a more tonal purple yarn. It's also super beautiful. And then there's this one, which is blue with kind of, there's even like a little bit of neon green, some speckles, some brown speckles. It's just absolutely stunning. So she sent that all together, and I mean, it was like such a special gift. So I have not known since then what to cast on with this yarn, and it's been sitting in my stash waiting for the perfect project. And I mean, this is definitely too good for socks. I had thought for a long time that I would knit a shawl out of it, but I couldn't find the right pattern. I wanted to have something that would make this colorway and this yarn just shine, because it's really special. And just indie dyed yarn, I don't knit with that much these days. And there was a phase in my knitting where I mostly just knit with like indie dyed yarn, but lately I haven't been. And I don't know, I just craved some kind of beautiful colorway. And I thought this yarn, I found the perfect project for. I thought what I would do with this is knit a pullover. And first I thought that I would kind of knit this so faded. I talked about this in my Make 9, because this is another one of my Make 9 2021 projects, which, if you don't know, the Make 9 2021 Make-Along is a Make-Along that Amy of Noble Character Crafts hosts, and it's so much fun to see all the projects there. And Amy is just an amazing podcaster and so lovely. So I'm gonna make this for my Make 9 too. This is a pullover. Like I said, I thought I was gonna do the flax pattern. I thought I would do kind of like a fading on my own, kind of just like a mix of the colors. I would just fade the colors into each other in the flax pattern. But I'm looking for photos for this, for my Make 9 board. The main photo that I found that fit what I'm wanting to do is really Andrea Mowry's So Faded pullover. And I thought, I can't like take this photo and not use her pattern. So I've got her pattern. I'm going to be using these and making my own So Faded pullover. And I love that she has little sleeve options. I'm going to do it also like shorter sleeves, like 3/4 lengths, I think, or I don't know if I'm going to do it beyond the elbows or how long I'm going to do it. We'll see how much yarn I have. But I'm going to do it also like a cropped version. So it's going to be smaller. And the last color I have to use with this is nothing else for my stash, which is nothing like, after showing these colorways, I feel like this is going to be like a little bit of like a disappointment, because this is not anything, like not in any way as stunning and luxurious and just beautiful as these ones here. But it's also special. It's one I've had in my stash for a long time, and that is this Wendy Rome 4-ply sock yarn. Very basic, very simple. I never knew when I would make socks out of this color, because I like to use kind of variegated sock yarn a lot of the time. So I thought maybe I'd make textured socks with this sock yarn. I was never sure what to do with this, but I've had this yarn in my stash for like a super long time. But I think that this color goes really well with these shades. So I decided to make it out of these, and I don't have anything in my wardrobe in these kind of shades at all. But I think this will be really nice to wear. Also kind of just a piece that I will enjoy wearing, a very wearable piece, just a little cropped sweater. So that's my So Faded, and I'm Not really sure how I'm gonna do it. I mean, these are 20 grams each, so these are obviously gonna be smaller pieces, but I'm really excited about making this kind of the star of the show. I'm gonna keep this at the top somewhere. I don't know if I'm gonna maybe start with this around the kind of the like collar area and then fade down. I don't know how I'm gonna do it or what I'm gonna do yet exactly, but I think I'm gonna start with this golden shade because I think this is the shade that suits me the best. And I don't wear that much blue. I have a couple of blue pieces that I really like, but I know that this one suits me the best, I think. So I think this is the best one to have by my face. And then I'll kind of go down into this one maybe. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one and then fade into this one and then fade back into this. I mean, I don't actually also know how much like space I'll get out of 20 grams. That's something that I really have no idea about. So if you know, or if you made a sew faded sweater and you could tell me like, I don't know, how many grams you used for each stripe or each piece, I would love to know. I have to look on Ravelry a little bit and see, but I'm really excited about this project. It's going to be really nice and kind of like, you know, it's just all stock in it. I'm going to do the sew faded pattern, but I'm going to probably modify it in that I'm going to leave out the garter little pieces on the shoulders, just because I think for me, like, I don't know, I think it's a raglan shape. I just don't think I want a garter on my shoulders just because of my shape. I don't think it would suit me very well, but you know, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm very excited about this project. I think it's going to be so beautiful, and it's really nice to use this yarn from my stash and make something beautiful. And I feel so excited to have finally found the project for this really extremely special yarn that I've been just waiting to use for so long. And it's just finally, this yarn is going to find its project, which is really, really special. So that is my next cast on, I'm pretty sure. Like I said, maybe I'll cast on a pair of socks too at some point if I need something even like more small and compact to take with me. But for now, I think I'm gonna cast on this pullover as well. Because it's like mindless and I can do it here and there. And it doesn't have to fly off the needles. Like it doesn't need to be finished right away. I think I'll be fine letting it sit for a while. It's still extremely cold out, obviously, so I won't need to wear it right away, but I'm excited to wear this and I think it will be a lot of fun to wear in the springtime. Yeah, that's what I have planned. This week, as I've been crafting, I've really enjoyed listening to an audiobook on LibriVox. I don't know if I've talked about that before. LibriVox is like a free platform that people upload audiobooks to. So classic books, I don't know the exact terminology, but the books are now in the public domain. So people like you and I can record audiobooks and upload them, and they distribute it for free for other people to download and listen to. And I really, really enjoy that because it's a free platform where you can just listen to audiobooks. And there are a lot of really great readers. There are also readers who are not the easiest to listen to too, but you've got to do some searching and then you can find incredible readers who are like professional in their reading and also like in their recording. Like everything just sounds like an audiobook you would buy or just a professional audiobook. And I love classic books, so I really enjoy listening to audiobooks on there. This past little while I've been listening to a book called The Benefactress by Elizabeth von Arman, and I had read a book by her called The Enchanted April in April actually of this year or last year, and I loved The Enchanted April. It was such a cozy, sweet, fun book. And so I'm listening to The Benefactress right now, and it's so much fun. And if you've never listened to a book on LibriVox, you should definitely try it. I will also link or write the book in the description that I'm listening to right now, but I don't think that book is for everybody. It's definitely an old-fashioned book, a slow-moving book, but the reader is just incredible, and I love listening to her voice. She tells the story so well too. Like the way that her intonation, everything is just impeccable. So I really have been enjoying doing that while I'm knitting and crafting in the evenings, because although I do like to watch things, and I do watch things, sometimes it's just like your eyes need to break from the screen. You need to not be looking at things. Also, like with my Clover at the beginning, it was like kind of I needed to look at the project the whole time. Now I've gotten into the flow of it. I don't need to look at it all the time, but I needed to look at the chart at the beginning really and focus on it completely. And so an audiobook was really good at that time. But now I've just been enjoying the audiobook because it's an audiobook. but it's so lovely. I mean, I feel like also I work part-time, only a few hours a week, but I work as an English teacher online. I feel like we spend so much time kind of in this digital world. It's nice to not look at a screen for a while, so I've been enjoying that so much. Although we have also been watching Mad Men, Nick and I, in the evenings, and we've watched a few episodes now. And I think I've watched the beginning of the first season of Mad Men before, like a few years ago. We've just been watching it lately, and it's been so incredibly fun to watch, just because every single frame of the show is like a work of art. Like everything is just beautiful, and the story is so good. It's kind of also a little sad. The whole story is pretty sad, but it's been so much fun to watch that in the evenings too. But anyway, I think I have to let you go now. Before I do, I also wanted to mention Tudor Rose's Knit Along that is running right now, and it's running all the way through the year 2021. I'm hosting this knit along with two other podcasters, Bella of the 100 Acre Wool podcast and Sophie of the Beige Creations knitting podcast. And I've seen that things are starting to heat up. I've already chosen my pattern and my colorway, and I'm very excited to share that with you when the time comes. And recently, Bella on her podcast showed her process of selecting which colors she wanted to knit her project out of. She's going to be knitting for her first project the Wallin pattern, and she showed how she kind of mocked up the colors and her process of deciding which colors she wanted to use. And I was just absolutely in awe of her color choices. I think she said in this video that she was, settled on the final colors, and she showed those colors and the combination, and it was just so breathtaking. Like the combination is just so beautiful, and I'm so excited to see her project knit up. And I'm so excited to see Sophie's selection and all your selections. Those of you who are going to partake in this knit along, you can chat about it and join in on Instagram in the hashtag Tudor Rose KAL. You can ask us any questions you need to, also on Instagram or on Ravelry as well. On my Ravelry group, Bella's and Sophie's, we all have groups for the Tudor Roses KAL on our individual groups, so you can chat away there as well. We'd love to hear what you're working on, what you're wanting to work on, what you're dreaming of. You can join in all the groups, and you can join on Instagram and Ravelry everywhere. It's just fun to chat and to get excited about it together. Now I think I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to go and make some lunch. I think I'm going to make some kind of like a quinoa bowl for lunch with like beets and things like that. I don't have that much in the kitchen, so I've got to use what we have. And I mean, unless we want to go out and get more ingredients in the snow, brave the snow, which right now out my window, there's like powdered sugar falling from the sky. It feels like, oh, this beautiful gingerbread world that we live in right now. Yeah, but I don't know if we're going to want to brave the snow and go out there. So I think I'm going to just try to make something, use what we have. Maybe I'll add some footage at the end of this video of the snowy woods so you can see a little bit of what we're experiencing and how it looks where I am. I'd love to hear how it is in your part of the world. I'd love to hear what you're working on this week. Just let me know. It's so much fun to chat with you in the comments and to hear all that you're working on. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. It's so much fun to have this community together, and it means so much to me. When you support me by subscribing and liking and commenting on this video. I can't wait to see you again next week for more knitting and crafting chat. Okay, bye!